Hey, happy Sunday. Welcome in, everyone. The Bama Standard postgame show is on air with a much better result than what we experienced yesterday. Tough outing for the Crimson Tide in the SEC championship. But as they say in church, joy comes in the morning, and joy has definitely came in the morning today. Before we get started, let's hit that like button, let's hit that subscribe button. If you're in the live chat, we know we sprung this on you. Hey, let's get wild as soon as you come in. We need to hear from you. If you're watching the replay, get in the comment section below. Show us love there. I'm your host, Justin Riley, and with me is a guy that is hit back from a long hiatus. He's a legend. He caught a game-winning touchdown against Arkansas. The Hogs still having nightmares. But most importantly, he's my co-host for the evening or afternoon, the illustrious Matt Caddell. Welcome back, brother.
Glad to be back on some good news after that brutal day yesterday. But
Man, absolutely. And no one saw it coming. But we endured it. We watched the train wreck happen, and we didn't go to bed very soundly last night because we left our playoff hopes in the hands of a committee that, quite honestly, if you listen to them leading up to this event, you didn't really trust what direction they were going to go. They didn't make a whole lot of sense, and it really didn't seem to favor Alabama at the time based on rankings, based on reasoning. While some reasoning may be true, you just didn't have a good feeling. So, what I like to do now, Matt, give me your instant reaction as Alabama is in the 12-team playoff. We didn't move despite getting waxed 28-7. We get a rematch against the Sooners. What is your initial reaction? Did you expect it? Did it come no surprise, or did it surprise you?
yeah, I'm surprised we're at 9. I thought we were going to be in at 10, but they could not. I don't think they could have left Alabama out. Them playing a bonus game in a national championship game. I mean, in the SEC championship, playing a team who they already have beaten. I think their full body of work paid off. Now, it was extremely ugly yesterday. We have a lot of things to address, especially on the offensive side. But I think what's most needed is we need rest. So I'm just glad Bama is in. It is. I don't know who else you can put in there. It has to be another SEC school. I feel like the team who got hurt the most was probably Vanderbilt, being left out. But outside of that, Alabama being the number 1 seed going into Atlanta, then losing the way they lost to a team they have already beaten. I think it's a good look. I think right now we just got to take it one game at a time. Like I said, we got to iron out a lot of issues offensively, not turn the ball over. We got to get rest, get our confidence back to get ready to go play in Norman.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned some key things in that statement there that may have played into the committee's decision making. Of course, it comes as no surprise that we have arguably the best strength of schedule in the 12-team field. We have the best in terms of quality wins. I don't think anyone else has replicated that. But then you also take a look at, yes, we lost yesterday in a pretty embarrassing fashion, but there's another little caveat to that. We entered the game and we had 8 players out, several with whom were significant players to the offense and defense. At the end of the game, I believe the total went up to 13. Do you feel like the committee also took that into consideration when making a decision to keep Alabama in?
I'm quite sure. I mean, you look at the gauntlet we had to go through at Georgia, Vanderbilt, Missouri, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Iron Bowl on the road, then play Georgia in the SEC championship. it's brutal. But I do think us having Jam Miller out, Cuevas, Dewberry,
Hmm.
Brailsford not 100%. Dejon Lee was out. I believe Xavier Brown was hurt yesterday, although Damani Jackson looked really good. Justin Jefferson. So we were kind of, limping already in there. But I do think, to your point, them seeing 8 players out, I mean, and still played, just about as brutal as possible. Um, we've got to our LT Overton, Kelby Collins. Those are big pieces. I don't know how many teams in the SEC could have that many players out and find a way to get to the SEC championship. Now, with those players out, could we have played better? Could we have called a better game plan? Yes, yes, and yes. Um, but it is what it is. But I think Alabama's got to change up a lot of things. And I know we're going to get into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think the committee looked at all the players we had out on paper and just looked at the whole body of work. Now we have new life. We just got to go make it happen one game at a time.
Yeah, you definitely have to take advantage of an opportunity when it's being given to you. And Alabama has come alive. They have a resurrection now. And uh, to your point, when Alabama is fully healthy, they could be arguably one of the best teams in the country. And I really feel like that's what the committee took into consideration. I don't think they looked at the product they saw yesterday. It's because that wasn't Alabama, and Alabama hasn't been that team since the Tennessee game. So if you discount that, then you completely miss it. But again, I still have my doubts. I felt if we lost, it would have to be a close loss to Georgia for us to remain in. But I think we're all proven wrong that the committee actually does believe in Alabama, and I guess we should have had more faith in the committee in this election. So here we are. Now the question is, where do we go from here? Kirk Herbstreit said it best that Alabama is a machine, but a machine that's leaking oil. I think there is a few other parts to the machine that need some fine tuning. And Matt, we already saw what Oklahoma is capable of when they came to Tuscaloosa. We're going to Norman this time, a difficult place to play. Last year, we didn't fare too well, different circumstances, absolutely. But we're going in with all of our issues that have been glaring. And I think we all, if we're honest with ourselves, turned a blind eye to what was going on offensively just because the wins were continuing to pour in. You felt no matter how bad we were playing or not executing that somehow Alabama was going to come out on top. And we did, but there's only so long you can do that before you run into a team that doesn't play around. And of course, that's Georgia. But Matt, right off the top of your head, brother, how are you feeling going into round two? Do you have is your comfort level at a much better place than the first go around, or based on what you've seen recently, are you more concerned?
Yeah, we're going to have to address a lot of issues. Defensively, I mean, what more can you ask the defense? I think they were kind of put in a bad spot, 2 costly turnovers. First thing, we've got to address offensive. We've got to address a lot of issues offensively, i.e. running the ball and committing to the run. The one game we committed to the run, we jumped out on Auburn's 17-point lead. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it actually worked. So, for Grubb, he's got to commit to the run. Just stick with it, and then stick with the run, and then within these next 2 weeks, we've got to work on third and short packages, third and we have to have third down periods to deal with the blitz, different types of play calls that can be wide open. Grubb DeBoer is going to have to. I think he's going to have to step in the offensive game planning, play calling duties, make sure that we have. Because we're going against Brett Venables, who's Todd Bates, defensive juggernaut. We know what they're going to do. They're good up front. They're physical. So what we've got to do, we cannot have any more of the long developing plays because we just do not have the protection or the time to because we know they're going to bring pressure. So we've got to take the long developing plays out and have more quick. I sound like a broken record on our text thread.
Well, but it's all truth though, because nothing's changing.
Yeah, we've got to run the ball, quicker passes, especially when pressure is coming. We got to have some type of underneath plays. No more of the long developing plays. No more of the cute trying to outthink it. Grub just needs to keep it simple. You look at yesterday, first two plays, we run the ball. It's 3rd and 3, I believe. And he tries to run a long developing reverse to third down play call was a long reverse to Latsier Brooks, where at that time I thought, might as well continue to run the ball. You might have a little bit more success. Another thing, get rid of the cute plays, stick to the run. We got to be able to hit shots vertical. And that's just not on tie. I think the receivers have got to step up. I don't know, Jamarcus Shepard being a new head coach has something to do with it. But we've got to be able to focus and not drop the ball, not turn the ball over. And we've got to be better on third down. And we've got to commit to the running the ball. I think it's some things if we could iron out those things. And another thing, special teams. That's what hurt us the first time versus Oklahoma. It reared its head last week. Yesterday versus Georgia. Special teams offensively and for defense, we've got to be able to look at what Georgia's doing. Look at defensively, we've got to be able to blitz, but not leave our safeties on the island. We've got to be able to find some type of blitz, but without leaving Bray and Saab on one-on-one matches, because it seems like what opposing teams are doing are just going after those one-on-ones in blitzing situations. So I think we have a lot to learn. But I think if we address those things, we've got to like rest up, get healthy, and really focus on this offense because it's going to be a challenge, especially going against Brett Venables and top eights.
I think the biggest thing out of anything, we can talk about scheming, we can talk about offense and defense, but rest. That is the biggest thing right now. We are in desperate need of some healing. And these next few weeks off are going to make the biggest difference to Alabama and what they're able to do. But on the defensive side of the ball, and I know a lot of fans who maybe don't understand the game well enough, or they're acting out of emotion, or there's a combination of the two. They don't understand that the defense, if anything, has been the saving grace for Alabama here as of late, especially against Auburn, especially against LSU. And others. And even yesterday, I know the scoreboard doesn't reflect it, but when your defense is on the field, the majority of the time, you're not doing them any favors, and you can't ask them to be gladiators that aren't susceptible to being gassed. They did absolutely everything they could. And given short fields, again, they're put in impossible situations, and we're expected to work miracles. And yes, LT Overton was out. And so was Kelby Collins, Jefferson, like you said, he exited. Demai Jackson had to come in because Dijon Lee was hurt. It just wasn't a good scenario. But the thing is that wasn't a problem. The defense was still the bright spot, but the offense just couldn't allow them to be great. So we go over to the offensive side. Yes, it's been a nightmare. And a lot of people are blaming Ty solely. And I'm not saying he's without his faults at all. He is definitely a contributor to some of this we're seeing. But then again, too, you have to understand that the entire offense, or the success of the offense, is being thrown on his shoulders alone. And you're expecting him to carry the entire burden with no help, and there's no adjustments. And at some point, there's going to come a time where he has a crash out, especially when the protection has not been there, especially when they have broken through. They've absolutely pummeled him. He's not 100%. So no man can not reach a breaking point when you have all that coming at you. And he finally did yesterday, and it was not pretty at all. But it's very frustrating with Ryan Grubb, because a lot of times it seems like he throws things on the wall just to see if it's going to stick. It seems like he's not taking priority in fixing the glaring issues like the run game. And you could argue, is it really a bad run game, or are we really giving the run game an adequate chance? We talked yesterday about how bad the run game is, but if you go back and look at the tail of the tape, Matt, our two running backs only carried the ball combined 7 times. You can't get an accurate assessment of how well or how badly running backs did if you only gave them the ball 7 times. That's not a good measuring stick. But the problem is we become so incredibly predictable. We're so one dimensional. It's not hard for good defensive coordinators to use that against us. And then also understand that Ty's seeing ghosts. He doesn't trust himself. He doesn't trust his line. There's a whole lot of broken trust around, and they're getting in his head. So how do we correct that going into Norman, where, again, like you said, Brent Venables is one of the best in the game right now. He knows what we're doing right now. He knows we're reeling. So what do we do to change all that? And does Grubb actually stop being stubborn and actually make the changes? You came up with some very simple solutions yesterday, and please share with our folks exactly what you said. But what do we do now going against Brent Venables, and what does Ryan Grubb have to do?
Yeah, it's basically just solely on Ryan Grubb. I think first and foremost, he needs to, instead of just looking at what plays work versus opposing teams, he needs to understand the why. Like, what is this offense trying to do? Like, you look at Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin, their offense. They operate off a system. They're trying to set you up, they're going to run the game. They're constantly looking at what plays. Okay, we ran this formation. We ran this play. It worked. It had success. What other plays, if we run out of this formation, can work in the future? So first, Ryan Grubb's got to, instead of just calling plays like, oh, this play worked, let me call this play, he needs to have some type of system incorporated into the play calling. And he could do that by, like I said, having runs, having a scheme, having a plan, and not just calling plays just randomly, as he seems like he did yesterday. It looks like he was just going off of, he had no plan. We need to have quick tempo runs. We need to have quick passes. We need to have zone beaters. We need to be able to have jet sweeps. We need to change up a lot of stuff. Just add tweaks here and there. As long as he commits to the run, and that's what I give Georgia credit. Mike Bobo might not be the best offensive genius, but he had a system. He had a plan. He was going to give the ball to Branch early. He was going to motion him, use him in the quick screen, get him touches. They were going to run the ball. They were going to use the QB run. They were going to use – they don't have the best running backs, but they committed to the run. They kept running Gunnar Stockton, even though he was a little – he was getting popped left and right. They stuck to it, so they had a plan. And I think Grubb needs to just have a plan regardless and stick to the plan, And if he could just commit to the run, he needs to be able to – he loves to run left. Well, he loves to run A-gap, B-gap. If he's going to run A-gap, B-gap, we need to be able to have need to be able to have toss. We need to be able to run counters. We do a lot of play, be able to get an I formation, pistol. There has got to be a plan of, okay, I'm calling these plans, Nick Sheridan, DeBoer, whoever. What plays do these set up for that we can call later on down from from an offensive standpoint instead of just calling random plays? That's my biggest thing. As long as he takes the try to get overthinking plays out of it, trying to get cute, motioning Proctor, trying to do a triple reverse, is he takes out those long developing play calls and just, what's coming at this point. He needs to just have some form or fashion of system that makes it easy for Ty to just line up. Oh, I see what's coming. We're going to do this. Bam, go with it. No need to overthink this thing and make it that much more difficult.
Man, great explanation, Matt. While you were talking, we have Coach Carl Taylor joining in. Welcome in, Coach Carl. Joining in a little bit late, but you get the gist of what we're talking about. And my gosh, it's like Matt just kind of relayed everything you've been saying up until this point. But if you would, man, kind of join in the conversation as we face Oklahoma now for the second time. And you heard what Matt talked about, something we all been talking about for a while. We're in the playoffs. So first, before you kind of go into the Oklahoma scenario, what was your initial reaction of us making it? And then if you wouldn't mind, dive into the matter at hand, Ryan Grubb having to figure things out in a much tougher environment.
Hey man,
that's how he starts.
That's on the point of making it in. I'm kind of satisfied we got in. It really didn't matter to me we got in. It was in or out. I kind of felt better if we was left out this one, being the way our offense is playing. Offensively we don't have an identity. Like we can't run the ball right now. We can't pass the ball, and we're supposed to be a passing team with all these deep. I don't understand these deep passing concepts like it's NFL type concepts. But even in the NFL, they realized that all those deep concepts didn't work. So they started doing everything 3-level contact, right? They got some short, got some intermediate, and something deep going. So if you bite on anything underneath, we'll hit you over the top. If you take the over the top, we'll take the intermediate. If we take the intermediate, we're going to just dump it all down low and let our guys eat in space. With Ryan Grubb only has deep mentality concept. He can't run the ball like Matt said in the C gap. Like he don't even try C gap running. Everything is A and B gap. And you running A and B gap when you know people got A and B gap pressure. Why are we running A and B gap runs with pressure in the A and B gap? You see the Mike sitting in a 10 and a 30. Why the hell are we trying to run A and B gap? I don't understand it. Do some things like jet motion, like try Germ on jet motion. Germs are not that fast. Germ is physical, but he's not that fast. So you put him in a jet motion to get him to run start. I mean, like they did Dylan Bell. Dylan Bell has some juice and he's thick like a running back. So you put him in jet motion, he's coming around there fast, turn up field. He's already geared up, ready to go. That so be the case. Hey man, get one of those running backs, put him in the slot, and then have him running jet motion. Running backs are trained to make those type moves with the ball in their hand. Get somebody outside our slower, thicker guys trying to do jet motions. I mean, shit, you're going to put Jeremy in jet motion, just dump it out to him in the flat. I mean, do something to draw the eyes of the defense close to the line of scrimmage. Like Georgia did all last night, was just sit back and wait. They're going to run the ball at us in the A gap. We don't even have to chase the run. We just sit here and wait on the run. Then we're going to make Ty figure out what we're doing. Not we got to figure out what they're doing because we know what they're doing. They've been doing the same thing for months, so it's not going to change. Kirby sat on it. Kirby played it. He made sure nothing got behind them. They sit on anything in the middle and try to make you damn check down. Ty didn't check anything down. Ryan Grubb has to figure this shit out. He's playing, I don't know if it's high school football. It may be high school football, honestly, man, because you know how it is, Matt. When you watch a high school, they don't dunk them down. All the quarterbacks just down the field. They're trying to hit home run balls. I think this offense is predicated on the home run ball with a ground batting quarterback arm strength. Like, you can't be a home run ball and you're hitting ground balls. Something Groves has to figure out. Maybe he should go down over here to Dan Cameron in Detroit and figure out 3-level football. Figure out how they utilize their guys in the run game, in the pass game, and using J-Mo for the damn deep passes. Figure it out. Figure out how to use tight end, man, in the seam routes. Something Grove is not doing, something Grove is not figuring out. And I'm kind of trying to understand why Seattle moved on from Groves. Because a whole season in Seattle, right? You didn't adjust. A whole season in Alabama, you never adjust. You think that what you call it always going to work. But the defense tells you what you can and can't run. Like, the defense predicated on offensive sets. Like, if the offense sets up in 13 personnel, Kirby would have came with a different type of defense. 12 personnel, same thing. Once you spread it out and everybody out in 5 wide, Kirby comes with a different type of defense. It's different things predicated on how you line up. Kirby lined up in too high, and we dropped back trying to pass the ball deep downfield. Why? He's in too high. At that point, you BC gapping. You pressing B gap, line back commit, say the commit, then you bounce C gap. That's what Georgia did us. Georgia pressed B gap, and then they bounced C gap, and then they got to start gashing our defense down the field. When the yardage shrink, then the defense started playing a whole lot better. But when we had all that grass behind us, the defense had to do what they had to do to shrink the yardage. Georgia, they never had to worry about the thought process of playing with all that grass. They just shrunk the damn team, put Alabama, like they said, playing in the phone booth. They made Alabama play in the phone booth that Grove is not comfortable being in. Grove comfortable being in that booth where he can see the whole field. He ain't comfortable with playing in the booth. And I don't know, man. I really can't say. Y'all guys are more in tune and entwined with the system than I am. I'm a fan from the outside, right? One of y'all maybe know what's going on inside that locker room side of that facility better than I do, but something has to change. And it has to change immediately because we won't beat Oklahoma in Norman.
Yeah, I don't think Grubb has a system. I just think, like Justin said, he's just calling plays on the wall, and he's got to be able to get his confidence back, maybe get back in the booth. Nick Sheridan, DeBoer, somebody needs to call plays and have some type of system. From what it's worth, Sheridan, we gave Sheridan a lot of crap last year, but he had a system, and I think somebody put up the stats. They were averaging last year more points per game than what we are this year.
That's true.
So something's got to change. I just think DeBoer is going to have to, if set up for us to go to Oklahoma and handle business. We just got to handle business. We got to iron these out. And so DeBoer is going to have to do something internally to make he's got to switch the system up. The motions, none of that stuff, all that pre-snap stuff does when we set and Ty goes make a motion. The defense, like you said, Coach, defense just sitting there. It's not even affecting nobody on the defense because all these shifts and stuff is not working. It's very predictable and it's a thin playbook. So I don't know. We've got to find some type of offensive system to get the ball into our best players, make it easy, and run the ball and simplify this game plan.
Real quick, hey, we need answers, right? We need help navigating through all this, and I have one more person that can help us out with that. Before I do that, I'll remind everyone this show is brought to you by none other than Title Towel. Look, we're headed to Norman, and there's only one thing you need by your side to guide the Tide to a victory, and that is the Title Towel. Go to www.whitwillsports.com today. Enter the promo code STANDARD. you get a nice discount courtesy of the Bama Standard Network. That's right, folks. Head to Norman with your title towel in hand. Well, Matt is back. I guess he got disconnected. He paid his bill. He's back.
Yeah.
But not only is he back, we got to bring in another expert, all SEC offensive lineman, one of the best to ever do it at the University of Alabama, Alonzo Ephraim. What's up,
What's going
brother?
on? What's
Alonzo.
going on, man? Hey, I want to start out with Roll Tide.
That's a
Hey, it
great way to
wasn't
start
pretty.
things.
Hey, it ain't pretty, man. Look, we gotta look at the silver line in this thing. Okay. We haven't played well. We haven't lived up to our expectations. At one point in time during the season, we was exceeding our expectations.
Mhm.
So I want to see that team get back to those, during that time when we was actually making plays and Ty was making throws between two defenders, and we like, wow, how did he get that ball through? And if you look at it, evaluating it, we had a lot of drops. We had guys not making plays, so it's not just the play calling by the coaches, because yeah, that's huge. Like you got to change something. I agree with you. Grubbs has to change something, man. Like he should have learned that in Seattle. It ain't a cakewalk. SEC is actually more demanding than the NFL.
Yep.
Mm.
The NFL just happened to be the next level, but when you talk about the SEC, there's no ball on this earth that can compare to it. So we got another chance. We get a chance to kind of right that ship against Oklahoma earlier this year. I just want to see us come out, man, and come with a better game plan of execution. Like you said, you got two high safeties. All your routes are deep. Like that's an oxymoron. Like that's crazy. I mean, that's just crazy. That's insane. And he knows better than that, man. Like he ain't new to this game. He's been around the game. Ain't nobody gonna have no pity for him. Like them guys get paid very well to produce well. So we're not gonna sugarcoat it, you know. But they just they gotta step outside of the norm. The defense has been balling. Hell, special teams, man. The pregame show, man, when Kirby said that about special teams being a big issue and that could actually change and swing the game, man, that should have let you know right there that they've been working on some things, and it showed. And that's what actually got them in position to get the ball rolling. And once the ball got to rolling, it's the snowball effect. It got to rolling big. You got the bottom part of the snowman built, and then you got the middle part. Then they added the head, and they finished it. So we have to look at that, man, and I think that we're in a good position because this is a whole new season now. What we have done this whole season doesn't matter. And the Ohio State team from last year that lost 2 games can attest to that. So it doesn't matter what you've done throughout the season. You got to the dance. It's a reset. You get a chance to right that ship all the way. You go through Oklahoma, then you go through Indiana. Who could expect a better situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm the
So
same way. So I like the bracket. Can't argue with the bracket
yeah,
that we're sitting in,
It's
right?
set up for us.
The bracket is
yeah,
set up
it's set up
perfect
for
for
us,
us. Like
right?
Oklahoma, Indiana, Oregon. You can't beat the bracket.
Can't beat
The
it.
question with
In
me
the
is
rematch.
the competence of Groves. Like, how in the hell do we have confidence that we can run through this? I know the defense is going to be there,
Yeah,
but can we score 15 points to get a defense any type of help? Like, I think if we can score 17 points, nobody's beating Bama in the playoff.
and then I
And
mean
we
you got to think about it like this
Can
too.
we
Like I
score
was saying about the
17
special
points?
teams, that's like if you talk about the major phases of the game, defense, offense, special teams. Right now, we're like 1-3. The
One and
defense is
three.
the only thing we can hang our hat on. So it ain't just Grubbs. Also, special teams have to come along tremendously. We dropping punts, man, for lack of focus. Okay, we
Mm.
recovered it, but we still dropped it.
Yeah.
Right? We did the same thing against Auburn. So what I'm saying is, it's something in our process that we're doing that's not really preparing us mentally to be able to handle the pressure of the game. We made mistakes against Auburn, which allowed Auburn to stay in that game. You understand? And these are teams that we allow Oklahoma to actually beat us because of mistakes that we made in the game. If you
But
eliminate those mistakes
that's
altogether,
on us, though.
That's on
That's
us.
on
But
us.
but guess who it
Not,
goes
I'm
back
not the
to?
players. I'm talking about that's the coaches. That's
Yeah,
on
that goes back to
us.
it goes from the head on down. Kalen gonna have to come with some, and I think it's gonna take Saban to get in his ear. Cause you know us as men, man, sometimes we be stubborn, but we'll concede to a better man. And Saban has definitely been the best coach, period, in all time history of college football.
Yep.
So I think Saban is gonna have to step in. Everybody saying Kalen step in with the play call. No, I think Saban's gonna have to step in to let him know, hey man, this is the program I built. I respect what you got going on, but you guys are gonna have to change something. You guys are gonna have to do something in y'all process to change it, to prepare the kids better, and to prepare a better game plan.
Yeah,
Because we're
to
not
your
executing.
I don't think we got to get more detail oriented. We are
Yeah,
not as detailed. One thing about Saban staff, I think I heard what Tyler. I forgot what's his name. He used to be a GA. He talked about how much time Saban would spend just on the coin toss.
Tyler
Like
Siskey.
knowing every details, the wind, which side of the stadium. Like
yeah,
we've got to be ultra detailed. Like to your
detail. Yep,
point, detailed, ultra process, ultra detail oriented, and ultra focused. That way we can make this run. And the funny thing, we've done it before. I
yep,
mean, how do we come out and go to Georgia, beat Georgia, and go on 5-6 game run?
yep,
So we've just got to be able to do it. And I think to your point, Saban's gonna have to get in DeBoer's you know what, and it
yeah,
shouldn't have to come, but he's gonna have to put his pride aside. He's
yeah,
gonna have to get on. He's gonna have to get on Grub. I know that's his buddy, but he's gonna have to have some coming to Jesus moments with him. If in the quarter we can make a run because it's set up, like Coach said, it is literally set up for us to handle our business and
yep,
possibly get a rematch with Georgia.
We rematch Georgia or we'll play Ohio State in the championship game. It's
Yep.
all lined up. The committee did us favors.
Oh,
I
yeah,
figured we was at a 10. I'm like, we'll get 10 and we'll have to damn play a Texas A&M power offense. Then we got Ohio State. I'm like, that's a hard task. Struggle against Texas A&M, maybe beat Texas A&M. Then you got to fight Ohio State. But when you put us at 9, I was like, oh shit! Like
that's
it's
perfect.
easiest road to the championship here with our defense, right? I know we can stop Oklahoma offense. I know we'll be able to stop Indiana's offense, but I'm not
But
confident
hey,
in
but you
girls
know what?
in the special team right now.
But coach, to add to what you're saying, you're right. You know we can stop them, no question. You know we got a good enough defense. You know them guys have been playing lights out. The question is the offense gonna give up a touchdown? Is they gonna
That's
give
the
up a pick
question.
six? Are they gonna fumble the punt on when we backed up, fumble it to get them good field position? So now all they got to do is walk in the end zone.
Are we gonna
Like
go for it
those
on fourth
self-inflicted
and fourth and
wounds,
2 from the 21-yard line?
right? You
Mm.
got to think about those self-inflicted wounds, man. Like you said, it's all about the detail, and we're not handling the detail,
nope.
and that comes from the coaches.
Yep. Because
That comes from the coaches.
you look at our punt returner, Cole Adams. I mean, some of the punts, he's not. We're so non-detail oriented. They used to give us a rule: if you're put your heels on the 10, and if it goes over your head,
Yeah,
go the opposite way and try to trick
yeah,
the punt team. But
Mm-hmm.
we are just standing there and we'll just watch it, and the punt team comes right at us, and then we'll get the ball on the 2. I'm like, we are not. We've got to
yeah,
become ultra detail oriented moving forward. Special teams, offensively, defensively. I think defensively, like I said, if we can just become more detail oriented and lock the freak in from a coaching perspective and a mentality, I think this is going to handle itself. So I'm done talking.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, we can use this opportunity to actually get to some of the audience questions and statements because they're definitely chirping. So we appreciate you guys. We'll start out with James Knox, 1666. Where do we hang our hats as fans now that Coach DeBoer's program no longer has the get up for Georgia prep week success?
Mm.
Who wants to tackle that one?
Zoe.
You know,
Hey,
Nominate Zoe.
look, check this out. This what I'm gonna say about that, man. I think that Georgia is like, I think the reason why we've been able to dominate Georgia because we don't highlight them as this powerful school or powerful program. We take it as the next game.
Mm.
And no game is bigger than the next game. So when you put that into perspective, whoever you're playing next is like the championship game for you. So you're gonna go balls out, right? And I think that's what's been like huge with our success, not making the game bigger than what it really is, because it's X's and O's, it's mono a mono, man against man. If I whoop your ass, we gonna win. If I whoop your ass 8 out of the 10 times, we should win. That's what our statistics support. So if we just kind of lock in, man, week to week, and just play the next game, um, then no game is gonna be too big. So it's not about just preparing for Georgia because you prepare for every team,
Mhm.
based off of what they do, but you don't want to make it bigger than what it is, which is the next game.
Great point. All right, we got Roll Tide and Rise Up 57-51. I have mixed feelings about this. Bama can't go into the first game and play like they have played the last 5 games and lay an egg. Offense has to find some way to get it going. So, and the question is, guys, what is that? What is the spark that can get this offense going? Do you add some kind of new wrinkle? Do you possibly bring in a player? People keep on asking for Austin Mack. They keep on asking for Keelan Russell. And we talked about this last night, Coach Carl. Is that a viable answer? Or if we go that route, could it hurt us? Could it hurt them? Guys, what would the spark be to kind of get this offense going? And do you agree giving some reps to either Keelan or Austin?
I'll go first. Since
yeah,
it's
go
my
first. I'll
second
go after
listen.
you.
It's what I would say. Honestly, this is what I would say. We have 2 weeks before we play Oklahoma, right? I'm getting all 3 quarterbacks ready to go. The best out of the 3 quarterbacks in these 2-week preparation, that's the guy I'm rolling with to start the game. Whether it's Ty, whether it's Austin, whether it's Keelan, I don't give a hoops who it is. I know Ty got us here to start, but we also know the offense is not going anywhere with him right now. Maybe it's a spark that we need offensively. If we want to be a deep ball down the field type of passing game, then maybe we should get a guy that can throw the ball deep down the field. If you want to take shots, if you just want to get in here and reconfigure the offense and methodically move the ball down the field, just taking what the defense gives you, you roll your punches with the guy who got you in the playoff. But if you really want to get the ball downfield, you have to have a downfield on. Ty doesn't have a downfield on. The throws that Ty trying to make, either he's overthrowing them because he's pressing too fast, thinking that, oh, I got to hit Ryan now. Or is that Ryan or that Germ? So he's throwing the ball to Germ too fast, and he's throwing the ball to Ryan and Lazier Brooks, Isaiah Horton too late. They are faster than Germ. Germ is not that fast. And then once he misses a throw deep, he underthrow a deep ball. The next ball he throws, he's gonna throw it a half a second too soon.
Yeah.
Because now he can't gauge, the time, the down, the time and the distance. You got to go back to practice, like mentally, take yourself back to spring, all the way through the fall, lock in, game plan, and just figure it out. Instead of going on dates with your girlfriend after practice, get your wide receivers out here and just start throwing the long ball, man. They'll know how long it takes you to get the ball out your hand. Let them figure out what your strengths and weaknesses are right now in this offseason. Like, we're about to go into the playoffs. You can't go in the playoff one-legged, one arm. Meaning we got one arm, which is 20 to 30 yard on, one-legged, meaning you have no running backs. So what are we going to do? Are we going to go in here and just try to game plan, put extra alignments in the game, and just try to run the ball down their throat with Daniel Hill, Karen Riley, and all the running back guys? I'm concerned. Like, where's Richard? Where's Dre Washington? Like, we have all these backs that we're not utilizing. figure out, add more personnel in here, add extra tight ends, like other coaches said, take tackles and put tight end numbers on them, run 13 personnel, try to figure something out, get guys like Oklahoma to start to bite in on the run, and then you can just dump it on top of their head, make it easier. But we got to figure out some type of way to solidify the offense, whether it's quarterback change, or it's a schematic change. You got to do something because what we're doing right now ain't working.
And I was going to say, how about we just line, as soon as we snap the ball, as soon as we break the huddle, just run that play right then and there instead of trying to make all these pre-snap adjustments that are not working. Just line up and run the play. And guess what? Go tempo and run the ball. Tempo. Defenses are making adjustments. What we're doing, we're giving the defense so much time, and we're snapping the ball with like under 10 seconds, sometimes under 5 seconds before we snap the ball. I say, to your point, make it competitive. It should be like camp the next 2 weeks, dang near. And just, if we're gonna run a play, just run the play. Just run the play. We should snap the ball with like 20 seconds left on the clock. Then go tempo. Have a plan. Okay, we got 3 yards here. Let's go. Let's get them on their heels now. Keep snapping the ball fast, and throw them off guard. You know what I'm saying? Then, okay, we scored a touchdown that series. Okay, this next series, let's come back, do something different. You know, you got to have some type of plan to keep these defenses on the heels. You can't keep coming out there going shotgun, trying to motion the guy to see what they're going to do, and their defense is not adjusting, and then they're making adjustments. They're 9 times out of 10. They sending pressure, and we have made the adjustment. They know our signals. They know everything. So, I don't know. Like you said, I just think that's the way to answer that question, you know.
Yeah, I would put whoever the quarterback is in the pistol set, and then run play action from a pistol, not from a side cop. Because you're on the side cock, we already know what way you're going unless you're going to run a counter. If you side cock on the right, you're going left. 9 times out of 10, you going left. So put them in the pistol. Now the defense had to think about where we're going. Just like we said, man, when you get on the damn line of scrimmage, just run what the hell you call. If you go check, you check in the 20 seconds. Don't check in 10 seconds.
I'm going to tell you this.
Because after 10 seconds,
I like everything what y'all saying because we haven't done this stuff. Now, just to speak to the things that we have done, I know that I've been on teams that the game plan has been to slow the game down so that it don't get out of hand, okay? That if you play and keep it closer, that they're supposed to play to sometime, that's what the coaches want, it plays to their strengths. So with them doing that, where they snapping the ball under 10 seconds, under 5 seconds, I believe that's by plan. I believe that that's by game plan because we do it too much and too often. Now, to speak to what you guys are saying, when we did speed it up and we did play fast, and you look at the games when we were up tempo, moving and going, we had the defense shook, they was routed, we was able to do whatever we wanted to do. So those are things that we have done, I think, within that stretch of when we went 5 straight games, beat Georgia. Like, we controlled the game, we controlled the tempo of the game. Now it seems like we're a bit skittish, you know? So it's like, you know, teams that are not that dominant, they want to shorten the game. So they're going to let the clock run down under 10 seconds, under 5 seconds, then snap the ball. But I think that's playing against us. And I in some ways, I feel like the players see that. Like, as a player, when you know that and you see that, it makes you feel like your coaches don't have that confidence in you. So it's like, okay, whatever we going to run, it's whatever. Instead of them saying, hey, we going to go at them. We going to hit them in the mouth. We going to call the plays. We going to line up quick. We going to tempo it. We are going to destroy them. And that's not what we're seeing.
But so, think about it like this, though, right? You know, as an offensive lineman, if that clock is at 5, 4, 3, and you snap that ball, the defense already coming because they already teeing off because they looking at that clock too.
Yeah.
And they know when that clock hit 1 second, they just gonna foul the ball.
Yeah.
Because you have to snap the ball at that point. So why are we waiting, milking the clock, and then giving the defense full range to go ahead and foul the ball? You get under 5 seconds, that D is coming. The D
That's
line
right.
already set, ready to go. And that's what killing us. When we move the ball, when we finally scored that touchdown, we were snapping the ball at 15 seconds or more. And he
Tempo.
moved the ball down the field, we scored a touchdown.
Tempo.
He went right back to the same damn thing, killing the damn clock under 5 seconds. Then Georgia lined up, boom. It's no more checking in 5 seconds. They line up in their defense, they coming. If you check, you're going to call timeout or you're going back 5 yards. That's
Yeah,
easy
we need
picking
to.
for defense. Man, I do that. Please.
You're right.
Take
You're
all the
right.
time on the play clock you want. Because at 5 seconds, we going. Defense, we going. All I'm being on the sideline, snapping my finger. Defense, we
Yeah,
going.
it shortens the plays. You're right. You're right. But like you said, if you look at the tempo, when we go in tempo, it's not even close, man. We able to line up. We're moving the ball. We're quick. We're fast paced. Like we look like the team that we were, early this season when we beat Georgia and we went on that run. We got away from that, and I don't know what that is, but I think it is. It's a reflection of the coaches, man, and the coaching. I don't think it's on the players as far as that goes, because the players are only going to do what they're allowed to do from what the coach is going to call.
You're right.
Yep.
Great point. Great points, gentlemen. Let's get to the next chatter. Army EP6FZ. They need to have a heart to heart with Ty. This is a team sport, and he needs to realize he's hurting the team. We need to play a dual threat quarterback that gives us a run game. I kind of step back a little bit when you say he's hurting the team. I think the coaches are hurting the offense and Ty by extension by not taking pressure off of them and not making us balanced. And they've not addressed it. It looks like there's been no priority, as Matt and I discussed earlier before Coach Carl and Lonzo jumped on. Yeah, is Ty making mistakes? He's making mistakes, absolutely. But you have to look at the layers behind why the mistakes are there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think not only do we, I think the board needs to have a heart to heart with Grubb and Ty. Listen, we're going to go tempo. We're going to line up. This is what you do well. Ty, what plays do you think work well for you? What are you comfortable at? All right, we're going to do this. We're going to run that. Boom. We need to be practicing go routes. As soon as we cross the 50, if Ty don't have a long enough arm, everything needs to be like, if we get plus red zone plus, we could take a shot. Receivers, we got to get back on the if we're gonna run tempo, we got to be able to run passes where we can catch it. I think it's Ty, yeah, but it was some drops yesterday. I mean, you look at Brian Williams' touchdown. I mean, he catches that. We back in the ball game playing, looking like crap, And then we put because Georgia was kind of, if we would have scored right there, Georgia, that would have put pressure on Kirby and Georgia. Be like, oh crap, here we go. You know what I'm saying? Then we kick the ball off and maybe get a defensive stop. You never know what could happen. So I think it needs to have a heart to heart with DeBoer. Like you said, Coach Ephraim. Coach Saban need to talk to DeBoer. DeBoer need to have a heart to heart with Grubb and Sheridan and Ty. They need to just come up with a game plan. This is what we're gonna run. This is what we're gonna do. A lot of this stuff's not working. We need to work, find out, get us a system of what's working. We going tempo from here on out. No need to try to, we snapping the ball with 15, 20 seconds left. Because you look at yesterday, when we start feeding Ryan Williams, because we went tempo, Georgia didn't know what to do. Because we were snapping the ball so fast, we hit Ryan Williams on that long run, pitch and catch that he stepped out of bounds on. Like, next thing you know, it was quick. So we need to start dictating to the defense instead of letting the defense dictate to us. And we could do that by having a system, going tempo, knowing what Ty likes, knowing what's working, and committing to the run. I think we can catch them off guard. Having a plan of tempo.
Man, that's powerful. That's a big statement right there. We need to make the rules, not take the rules from the others. Absolutely. Here's a good question from Orlando Clark, 7987. And if any of you guys can give me this answer, man, you know a lot more than I know, and maybe the coaches know. What's our offensive identity? We still don't know.
We don't have one.
We don't have one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
there is no brilliant answer to be given here.
It's not much you can say.
Yeah, our identity is to put it all on Ty right now, not run the ball and try to pass it and snap the ball with 2 seconds left and keep just trying different stuff, Like, I don't know. It's so easy. Like, after that second drive, you should be like, okay, this is what they're going to do, guys. We're going to go tempo. We know they're going to bring pressure here. Okay, now we're going to call a screen. We're going to screen their tails to death all game. Screen works because
Yeah.
teams don't blitz us. We scored a touchdown off the screen. Like, we need to just have a plan, and I think that goes to Grubb and DeBoer and Ty. Whoever, they need to be all on the same page. Hey, we're gonna ride by this. We're gonna have a plan. We're gonna go tempo all the way up to the fourth quarter, with 10 minutes left, and then we're going to slow the game down. And then we're going to dictate. And then we're going to milk the clock and get out of here with a W. That's
Yep.
what.
Matt, to your point,
Yeah, that's
Army
what growth.
adds this.
That's what the board should be saying. Defense, y'all gear in. We're gonna run 100 damn plays a practice on defense to make sure y'all in shape. Because we're gonna go up tempo, and we need y'all to just hold on. Bend and don't break. Just hold on.
2-minute offense, man. We need to be in 2-minute offense throughout the whole game.
Yeah, and just call the first play.
Yep.
Go pistol, like you said, Coach Carl. Go have some different type of runs. We got to have some type of runs outside of A and B gap runs. Run a counter. I haven't seen not one counter where we fake here and just come back, back. I think we need to get away from pulling the lineman and just go to a zone blocking scheme where everybody's beating their one-on-ones. You get what I'm saying? And go from there.
You know what? I agree with you on that. I just don't understand why we're unable to do it. Like, I don't understand with the talent that we have. I understand that we are banged up. Nobody's really speaking to the fact that we do seem like we're banged up. Physically, it seems like we're very depleted, man. So we got to go back on the off season to kind of revamp that conditioning program or whatnot. But we do seem like we're very banged up and hurt, man. If you really look at it closely, these last couple of games, you're gonna see some guys out there not being able to give their all. And I don't think that that's because the guy don't want to play. Like, who wants to be embarrassed, right? So I think it's more so that physically you're unable to give more or give what you really need to win. I'm not making excuses for him. I'm just looking at the facts of things, right? So you're right. The O-line is the biggest accountability of all of it. Like, the O-line has just not been what it's supposed to. We did some shuffling inside there, and we got our center hurt. Like, we don't have any leadership up front like what we have expected to have going into the season. And it starts up front. The games are won in the trenches. So I agree with you, Matt. Like, you should line up. We should be able to run zone. We should be able to run inside out zone. We should be able to run trap. I don't even know why we're not even trapping these guys. Like, if they're running up the field, hauling ass, why don't we trap them and run underneath? I don't see any running backs that we have that can get to the outside like that. But downhill, they're beasts running downhill.
Yeah.
So why not come back and trap them instead of doing all the buck sweep and the tosses and, you running out to the edge and to the alley and your running back is barely making a cut. We doing all that. We run 7 yards laterally to get 2 yards.
2 yards.
You understand? Like,
sometimes negative 2 yards.
Negative 2 yards. It's like, come on, man. Like, play to your strengths. And I don't know if Grubbs is really familiar with that. I think that he's used to that West Coast running gun. We're going to spread you out, throw the ball all around. Listen, man, this is SEC football, man. Ain't nobody running like that. Ain't nobody going to be getting around like that. Like, you're going to have to go in mano and, come up with a good game plan for your guys to execute. Another thing you said too, Coach, we don't do a lot of misdirection. Why is that not in the game plan? You're trying to get the defense to be on their heels. You want them to be unsettled. But all these other defenses have been settled. They've been dictating to us because we ain't doing nothing special.
The defenses are saying, hey, throw the ball deep. You're going to have to throw the ball deep. We waiting on you to throw the ball deep. You're not going to do anything else. Just go deep. Go deep. Go deep.
And we ain't doing it.
That's what everybody's saying. And we can't go deep. and they know they making you throw the ball deep because they
Yeah.
watch film and knowing that your quarterback doesn't have a 50-yard arm.
Yeah.
So they gonna say throw the damn ball deep. We gonna take away everything else. So if they gonna take away all my short game, I'm gonna kill you across the middle. We're gonna run miss routes all day long. Your linebackers and your safety gonna have to make a decision. You're gonna take Ryan on one side and Lazier Brook, and they both coming across your face. Who you taking? Who you taking?
Yep.
You miss one, I'm hitting the next one. If you take both of them, I'm gonna hit the tight end in the seam. Make a decision. You can run Ryan deep, you can run Lazier deep, and then you Germ and Isaiah Horton across the middle. Who you gonna take? Make a decision. No matter who you playing, somebody make a decision. And if I get you jumping on those routes, then I'm gonna play the head out you with my running backs. Because as soon as your defense start dropping, let's get them. And we can take these 5, 10, 15 yards, moving down the field all game long until you start coming up and trying to play the draw. As soon as you start sitting playing the draw, I'm gonna throw it on top of your head. It's all easy. Our offensive staff just can't put it together. I'm thinking right now, and I hate to be the one to say it, Kalen DeBoer must not know offense, because if he knew offense, there's no way 2 years in a row you had the same offense. But one year is Tate on a quarterback that can run the ball, and next year Tate on a quarterback that can pass the ball. There's no way you know offense and you have same offense, but your running quarterback will producing way better than your passing quarterback.
And both quarterbacks these past 2 seasons have regressed under Coach DeBoer.
Have regressed from week 1 all the way down.
So there's a common denominator. And a lot of flack was thrown Jalen Milroe's way. And yeah, like I said last night, there's a lot of things he didn't do well, but you can't argue that Jalen Milroe under Tommy Rees, Nick Saban's last year, was a much better quarterback than Jalen Milroe his final season under Kalen DeBoer. And now you see Ty Simpson having issues as well, not being the same guy he was against Tennessee. He's in his head. His brain is fried, like Milroe was last part of the 2024. His brain was fried, and the coaches have yet to figure out how to pull them out of that fry state. That's something that's very concerning.
Man, I think it's loyalty over continuity. That's what I call it, loyalty over continuity.
Chris Camp, when do the excuses stop and fixing the issues start?
It's on the board.
It's up to them.
Starts at the top, man.
Hey, let's put it like this. We're going to say that stuff should start this upcoming week. You got 2 weeks to get yourself prepared to eliminate all the bull crap, all the fluff. You can make everybody forget about every mistake that you made all season long by going through and handling your business.
Right. And DeBoer supposedly one of the best preparers when he's been given 2 weeks. So we'll see if he's able
big games.
to do that in big games.
Let's not forget his nickname is Big Game James now. He struggled with the little games, but when it come down to the big games, he handled them now. Well, Kalen, you got your wish. Every game from here on out is a big game.
Absolutely. We got 2 more questions. Matt, maybe you can answer this. And I think it's probably a mental situation. J Mac, why the receivers can't catch?
I do think that Jamarcus Shepard getting that head coaching job was a distraction. Say what you want. The guys don't seem as locked in. I'm just gonna be honest. They don't seem as locked in. It's not as what it was early in the season. We're just not catching the ball all the way. Even that last scramble that Ty did, the ball hit Jeremy right in the hands, and they're like, the ball got tipped. I'm like, that got nothing to do with it. If he gonna make it to the NFL, the balls get tipped all the time. If it hits your hands, you're gonna have to catch it. So, I do think the Shepherd was a distraction. I don't care what nobody say. Like you said, Coach Carl and Ephraim, we need to get back. It need to be like dang near 2 days. It need to go back to camp mode these next couple of weeks, because we only playing the guys who are getting us the best chance to win, and we got to lock in. Receivers got to put in the work. Devontae Smith caught 100 balls after each practice. You know, it got to be on the quarterbacks and the receivers. Guys, let's do extra work this week. You know what I'm saying? Let's run routes. Let's be on a rhythm. We have some type of chemistry, but I do think the receivers just got to lock in and catch the ball and run better routes. And I do think when we do get a new receivers coach, I think we need to get new blood. I think we need to get somebody new in to kind of freshen things up once Shepard leaves, once the end of the season. So.
Marquise Mays.
Even with that,
Hey, I'm gonna throw
man,
my
I
hat
think
in
about
there.
this, man, right?
I'm gonna throw my hat in there for a guy, Antonio Carter.
Absolutely, AC.
AC
Go
had
ahead,
that
Zoe.
wide
Without
receiver
question.
core
O-line
going
coach.
crazy
O-line
in there,
coach, though.
man.
O-line, yeah.
But like I'll tell you like
Oh,
this,
and let me get on
Matt.
the
Think about
O-line,
this,
baby.
Matt. Yeah, Matt. I'll tell you
Zoe,
like
I don't know
this,
if they can
Matt.
handle you.
Right?
You might
What
have
you
them in the
saying,
corner.
Coach?
I'll tell you like this, Matt. Right? You play a receiver, right? So let's talk like this. Once you see a DB's on top of you, and you know you got a 30 or 20-yard dig, don't you cut your route off short?
Yeah.
Because you already pressing him. Boom, you got him backpedaling. Boom, 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 boom. You cut your route off short, it's easy to throw.
Yep.
They keep running the whole route. When you see the safety sitting here and your DB's on top of you. Why am I continuing to running that deep route? Cut the route off short. Boom, cut it off short. Come back, get a quarterback an eye. Like that's on Shep. Now I think Shep is not giving the guys option to cut routes off. Cut the route off. Last year we saw what in Ryan. Ryan was so far, like he was see.
I think he got cut off.
Hey, if the kid sees that you got a safety and a cornerback both on top of him, and he cuts the route off, it's on y'all to make that adjustment, not the receiver. If the receiver can see it, yeah, the quarterback should see it.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that they could be working on in practice. Like, boom, he's on top of me. I'm gonna cut the route off short here. Boom, they do it in the NFL. Why are we not doing it in college? We just running straight routes in college. College now is like high school football. They're not teaching these guys how to read the defense. They just telling the guy how to run these damn routes.
All right. Well, guys, we've been going for over an hour, so we need to kind of wind things down. I know we got the rest of our weekend to get to. We got kids and all that good stuff. But if you would, before you head out in about 30 seconds, give us your final thoughts on Alabama making the playoffs and Oklahoma being ahead, and share your socials, and then we'll call it a day. Start us out, Coach Carl. We'll go to Matt and then Alonzo.
Okay, what I got, Matt, Zoe, join the staff, use y'all experience, keep this thing rolling. Roll Tide. Y'all got 2 weeks to make this thing work, and then we'll go in Oklahoma and beat them. That's all I got. That's it, man.
Yeah.
What's your
Roll
social?
Tide. Oh, yeah. Get your social.
Hit me on X, man, Coach KD Taylor. You can find me here on this stand-up and find me at T-Time Media.
All right, Matt, you're up.
Roll Tide. I'm glad we got in. Now let's lock in. Let's get detail oriented. We need to be running Saban practices. No longer these DeBoer practices. These next whatever Saban did, that's how we need to start practicing. We need to have a third down period. We need to do so many things, and let's lock in DeBoer, Grubb, Ty, receivers. Everybody lock the freak in because it's set up for us. So let's go out there and handle business. Oh, hit me up on X.
All right, cool. Alonzo.
Well, I'm a second everything they've been saying, man. First and foremost, again, roll damn tide, baby. Roll damn tide. We got to the dance. We missed it last year. Our date went without us last year, but this year we going. Whether or not we take a date, that's gonna kind of depend on how we gonna execute in practice. I think we've lowered everybody to sleep. I think as a team, nobody's really believing in us because of how we've been playing. So everything is up from here. So let's go back with a whole refreshed new look. Hopefully our coach is gonna come with a better game plan, and we're gonna execute this shit, and we're gonna beat Oklahoma, and we're gonna go on to the next round, and we're gonna beat Indiana, and everybody's gonna be talking nothing but good things about us, and everybody's gonna be saying roll tide because everybody's watching. So
Everybody.
let's give them a show.
Most watched
The whole
team
world
in college
watching Bama,
football.
baby. Whole world watch Bama. The whole world want us to get beat.
Yeah.
Now, I have one thing to say about that, Justin and Zoe, and even Matt when he come back up, right? My linebacker has committed to OU, so I'm a Bama Sooner. So I'm a Bama Sooner. It's Roll Tide all day, every day, until he gets on campus. Then it's Bama Sooners, right? So Roll Tide. Hey man, appreciate y'all invite. Glad to be back on with you, Zoe. Nice to meet Matt for the first. And roll down Tide, man. Everybody in the chat, man, we thank y'all for showing up because we couldn't do this without y'all. Keep hopes alive, man. That's all we can say. Keep hopes alive.
And I second Alonzo. Let's bring AC Carter home. Get him back on this staff. Get him back doing things that he does the best. Arguably the best receivers coach in the country.
Yep.
But that's going to do it for all of us here at the Bama Standard post-game show. Again, Alabama is back in the dance. This time we had the date. Now we got to treat her right. So make sure you tune in to everything we have coming at you on this network and follow these guys on social media. Thank you, Lonzo. Thank you, Coach Carl. And thank you to Matt. And folks, remember, hit that like and subscribe button. If you watch the replay, get in the comment section. Let us know what you think. But that's going to do it for all of us here. We will see you Tuesday night on the Bama Standard at 6 p.m. Central. Until then, roll tide, everyone.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Roll